What is up, guys? RSC6414 here, back with another video. This time I am going to do something new, my first ever sports video on this channel. Like I said, if you watch my channel update, big announcement, I talk about what I'm going to be doing. I'm going to be adding sports to my channel, and I've been watching for years now. And this is my NFL Week 5 predictions. This is going to be a pretty good week. For those of you who don't know, I have three teams. Yes, a lot of people only have one, but I have three. Dolphins, Browns, and Saints. Dolphins have been my team for years, Browns as well, and Saints. I like the Saints when Aaron Brooks and Deuce McAllister was on the team, so don't even call me a bandwagon fan. But enough of me rambling on. Let's go ahead and get to the NFL Week 5 picks. Alright, the first game, Thursday Night Football. Buffalo Bills at the Cleveland Browns. Both teams 2-2. Surprise this year. Browns going on a 2-game winning streak, even after they traded Trent Richardson. I gotta go here with the Browns. I mean, that's my team, and generally I don't pick based on because I'm biased. I may be a little biased, but Thursday Night Football, Browns don't come on national TV too much, so this is a big deal for me considering I don't live in Ohio. But my pick, Cleveland Browns. I think Brian Hoyer is going to take them to their third straight victory with the home field advantage. Next game on Sunday, starting at Sunday games, 1 o'clock, Patriots-Bengals at Cincinnati. I gotta say that I think Cincinnati is going to get the win here. I know the Patriots are 4-0, but let's face it, they've really played nobody except for the Falcons, and they've barely beaten any of them. Last week they were lucky to even get out of there survive with the win over the Falcons, and the Falcons made that comeback in the fourth and lost by 7 with that last second bat away from Aqib Talib off Roddy White, so Roddy White couldn't catch it. So my pick here, I think the Patriots are going to finally get their first loss of the season against Cincinnati at Raymond, or whatever they call it, Raymond Jones or something. But Bengals with a victory here. That's my pick. Next game, the Detroit Lions at Green Bay Packers, another 1 o'clock game. The Lions, they're holding pretty steady too as well, you know. They're 3-1, tied for first with the Chicago Bears in the NFC North. Green Bay's 1-2, not off to the greatest start that they might have wanted. And you know, Detroit, I think I'm really tempted to pick Detroit here, but at Lambeau Field, I gotta go with the Green Bay Packers here. That's my pick there. Next game, Seattle Seahawks at the Indianapolis Colts. Two second-year quarterbacks, Russell Wilson, Andrew Luck. Both these guys, Russell Wilson was a third-rounder, and they were both picked the same year, obviously, and Luck was a first-rounder. But these are two of the hottest quarterbacks in the league, really young guys. But it's at Indianapolis. But I'm going with the Seahawks magic here. Seahawks, throw out the magic. I'm going with the Seattle Seahawks for this game. I think it'll be a good game, and hope we get a good, close one. So Seahawks my pick. Next game, Baltimore Ravens at the Miami Dolphins. My number one team, the Dolphins, like I said earlier on in the video, in Miami, going up against the Super Bowl champs of last year. I've got to go with the Dolphins here. Ryan Tannehill, even though we did get beat pretty bad last week at the Superdome in New Orleans, I do realize that, but we've had a pretty good season considering what most people were expecting us to do. I didn't come in with the great high hopes this year compared to the last couple seasons. Ryan Tannehill showed what he can do, and I've done a good job some last-second drives against the Falcons, so I think they're going to keep riding that momentum at home, even though they lost last week. I think they're going to keep that home winning streak alive for this year and get the Dolphins the win here. It's my pick, Dolphins over the Ravens. The next game we have is the New Orleans Saints at the Bears. The New Orleans Saints, I'm picking here. Probably the Saints. You know, it's really tempted here too. Even though the Chicago lost last week 40-32 at Detroit, I still think that Jay Cutler's, you never really know what you're going to get from him. Plus, you've got Matt Forte, who's pretty good. And then you've got the Saints defense, who's gotten really good now that Rob Ryan's become the defensive coordinator when they got him from Dallas in the offseason. So I think that their defense has picked up. If it was last year, I would have picked the Bears in previous seasons, but I think the Saints are going to pull off the win here again and remain undefeated to go 5-0, the big 5-0. My pick here, the New Orleans Saints. Who dat? The next game, Philadelphia Eagles at the New York Giants, another 1 o'clock game. This one is just like who's going to play worse in this game. You got the Eagles, who haven't played awful. They played good their first game to beat the Redskins 33-27. But you got to realize the Giants are 0-4. They got killed by the Carolina Panthers, who didn't even have a win, 38-zip. They lost last week, got killed by the Chiefs. They lost to the Cowboys, and they lost to Denver. Now, the first two I can accept. Denver's good. Cowboys are Cowboys. Panthers and Kansas City's pretty good, too, but the Panthers 38-0, that doesn't look pretty. My pick here, even though it's in New York, I think the Eagles are going to get their second win to go to 2-3, and the Giants will go to 0-5. Sorry, Giants fans. The next game is the Kansas City Chiefs at Tennessee Titans. If I'm not mistaken, I think Jake Locker got hurt last week against Jets. Muhammad Wilkerson, that other guy, I forget his name, both went at him and hit him pretty hard. So I'm pretty sure they put Jake Locker out for a couple games. So my pick here, even though it's at Tennessee, Kansas City's looked really good this year. I think Kansas City's going to remain undefeated here and go 5-0 for another surprise this year with Alex Smith and Jamal Charles. So we'll see what happens. My pick here, Kansas City Chiefs with a W. Next game, the final 1 o'clock game, the Jacksonville Jaguars versus the St. Louis Rams. Oh man, I don't like the Jaguars too much, being a Dolphins fan. It's the Jaguars. They've never been like whatever. I never hated them, but I've never liked them. And also the St. Louis Rams, same thing. But it's at St. Louis. Jacksonville's looked awful this year. No offense to Jaguars fans. They've scored less than most teams. I'm pretty sure they've scored a combined like 40 points a game or something this whole year in the first 4 games. So I'm going with the St. Louis Rams here to pick up the W and move to 2-3. The next game, the Carolina Panthers at the Arizona Cardinals. This is another tough one. If you remember, Cam Newton's first ever game in the NFL was at Arizona, the University of Phoenix Stadium, and the Panthers lost barely in a close one. I'm pretty sure, I think they did lose. So my pick here, even though Carson Palmer, the Cardinals pick up a win last week against Tampa. That was Tampa. This is Carolina. Carolina's better than Tampa, I have to say. I'm going, the Carolina Panthers had a rest. They had a bye. So I'm going with the Carolina Panthers here to pick up the win. If they want a playoff shot, they have to win this game because they've got the toughest schedule in the NFL this year. My pick, the Carolina Panthers to beat the Arizona Cardinals. Next 425 game, that game previously, Panthers-Cardinals, was 405. This one's 425. Broncos at Cowboys. Should be interesting. Broncos, 4-0. A lot of people are picking them to go to Super Bowl. Peyton Manning, they're looking real impressive, I have to say. Peyton Manning looks out of his mind. But that's Peyton Manning in the regular season. When he gets to postseason, sometimes he's not as good. He's still good. But let's not talk about postseason. This is regular season. My pick here, even at Dallas, I don't care. The Denver Broncos are going to pick up the win here and advance to 5-0. My pick, the Denver Broncos to remain undefeated. The next game, 8:30 game, Texans at 49ers. Now, I'm excited about this. I don't have a problem with either team. Colin Kaepernick, really exciting quarterback, turned it around at the Thursday night football game last week. Looked in a little bit of a slump, but killed the Rams 35-10, I'm pretty sure. I think he's gonna. Houston Texans lost a heartbreaker, and Houston, they're up 20 to, I think they're up 17 to half. The Seahawks come back, win by 23-20, and pull off the comeback out of nowhere, and no one was the people burning Schaub jerseys. It looks like the Houston Texans fans are not as behind Schaub as the Schaub's pretty good. I mean, he's pretty injury prone, but he's got one target really. Let's be realistic. And that's Andre Johnson. Then you got Ben Tate and Arian Foster kind of switching off on the carries. And then the Texans defense is pretty good too. And then you got the 49ers defense who's really pretty good as well. My pick here, this is a tough one. It's at San Francisco, so I've got to go with the Niners here to pick up the W over the Texans. But I could see Texans winning. Next game, 11:35 at night. Yes, you heard me right. 11:35 Eastern Time at night, 8:35 Pacific. San Diego at Oakland. This game was originally, I think, supposed to be at 4. And they moved it because, for those of you baseball fans like me, Oakland Athletics are playing a playoff game that same day, and they both share the same stadium, Oakland Raiders and the Oakland Athletics, the Oakland Coliseum. So they got in order to prep the field for the Raiders game later on, the A's, the field staff there at the facility, have to be able to prepare it for the Raiders game after the A's game and set it up. So to give enough time, they moved the game to 11:35 Eastern Time. It's going to be shown on NFL Network, so I'm definitely going to be tuning in. Terrell Pryor's getting the start this week after the concussion he took last week off. Raiders got one win this year against the Jags. And for those of you who don't know, Matt Flynn was put in third string behind Matt, I forget his name, first name, McGloin from Penn State, the rookie this year. Second string now. They moved him to second. And Flynn's third. So Pryor's getting the start. Chargers look pretty good this year. This is, I think Oakland's going to pull off the upset here. I mean, some people may not consider an upset. San Diego's 2-2. They've gotten some games they shouldn't have won. I mean, shouldn't have lost, but they did. So my pick here, though, with the upset, the Oakland Raiders are going to ride the Oakland A's playoff momentum. The fans are going to be hyped up. They're going to get them the victory, help them overcome the Chargers, and the Raiders will pick up the upset victory here. Some of you may not consider it upset, but some of you may. So my pick here, the Oakland Raiders. Final game. I know I've dragged it on a little long here, but I want to get you some in-depth analysis on my predictions. Final game, Monday Night Football, New York Jets. Geno Smith, the rookie. They've won some games ugly. And the Falcons, the disappointment this year for a lot of people who thought that they might do pretty good. They're 1-3 this year. Then you have the New York Jets, if I'm not mistaken, are 2-2. So they haven't done as bad as people may have thought. Geno Smith looked pretty good. It's at Atlanta, at the Georgia Dome. I got to go with the Falcons here to pick up the second win. I don't see them going 1-4. So my pick here, the Atlanta Falcons. Then I'll give you the buys on the who gets bye weeks this week. If you're wondering why I didn't pick these teams, bye week this week: Vikings, Steelers. I'm pretty sure it's the Buccaneers and the Redskins. So Vikings, Steelers, Bucks, and Skins get the bye week this week for Week 5. I hope you enjoyed my Week 5 predictions. I'll be doing this every week from now on. This is the first time I've been doing this. A little late, I realize, considering we're 4 weeks into the season. Now 5, starting tomorrow night. Enjoy the games this week. I know I will. Cheer on my Brownies. I'm just kidding. My Browns to pick up the win tomorrow. And, yeah, hope you enjoyed this. Thanks, guys. Those are my Week 5 picks. Peace.